Hello, everyone. Welcome back with another Blockopedia podcast. I'm Mohammad Ahmed Khan, co-founder of the Blockopedia. Today, we have Diago, co-founder and CEO of Pyra, a Web3 fintech app that lets you invest and you can get your entire paycheck into the crypto assets. You can spend using Visa or any DeFi or using any DeFi loans, and you can grow your wealth without ever selling. So, meaning no capital gain tax, the solution the Pyra is providing. And Diago is into the Solana ecosystem since long, since from his university days, and he developed and he founded out Pyara, and he's doing a lot of the things. He's one of the most talked about situations with the drift exploit, and now he's relaunching again with the stronger than ever. So, Diaga, great to have you and welcome.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure being here. And yeah, excited to answer your questions.
Yeah. So I would love to start with your journey, like when you have started and before coming to the crypto and the Web3 space, what exactly you are doing, something about your journey when you have started, from you have started. So this is all about your journey.
Yeah, I mean, I started crypto, I guess, when I was in high school. One of my friends told me about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they started trading, and I thought it was super interesting. So I kind of like had a look, and then I started reading the white papers and understanding the tech, and thought it was the coolest thing ever that you could build stuff and into internet applications that interact with capital. And then I basically just dived right into it, and then was studying computer science. And in the background, I was working on projects around DeFi, spending, uh, DeFi yield, like arbitrage trading, uh, and these type of applications. And then eventually that led to discovering Solana ecosystem, and then after that, developing and building in the Solana ecosystem. So it started from, I guess, a while back, but yeah, I guess it just stems from knowing and understanding and thinking that the tech was very cool.
Yeah, you have started when you were in the high school. Like this is the base I have seen. If you really want to know about the crypto and the Web3, you must start with reading the white papers and some other stuff. So, what was your first job like when you have started, and how did you jump into the crypto? Like which company? How when you first heard it about the Bitcoin? Which currency you have first invest so that you have get an idea. Like you have to build a tool for the communities for the investors to invest in your use your platform to invest.
Yeah, I think the first app that I ended up using was a BNB like DeFi app. It was called Pancake Swap, and I thought it was the coolest
Hmm.
thing ever. I guess like the first tool that I ended up building was like a DeFi comparison tool that let you compare the prices between and arbitrage opportunities between different exchanges. So between DeFi and DEXs, DEXs and centralized exchanges. It was like kind of like the first like testing out product to see like, okay, can we build something that's useful for people? We built it, launched it, got some feedback, and then it kind of went nowhere, and then it kind of eventually abandoned it. But it was a great learning experience, and it was a good like stepping point into DeFi and building a project, and that was kind of my first taste of it, and I thought it was pretty fun.
Got it. Got it. And for the listeners who is very first time hearing about Pyra for the first time, how would you like to explain what is Pyra in the simplest terms that possible?
Uh, how I would describe Pyra? Pyra is an investment app that lets you invest and build wealth with money that you would normally spend. So today, with a traditional bank or traditional investment app, you invest money that's left over after your expenses. So say you get paid €1,000 or $1,000, you spend 800, you might invest and save the 200 that's left over. The issue is that because the cost of living crisis is so difficult for a lot of people, that amount of capital that's left over is too small to build wealth quickly and efficiently. So what we do is instead of you spending your money first, when you receive your paycheck and your capital into Pyra, you can invest that into your portfolio straight away. And then when you need to pay for your rent, groceries, or bills, you get a line of credit against your portfolio to cover it. So money that normally you would just spend and you never touch again. With Pyra, that money is still invested and growing and compounding long term. And that's what our product lets you do. And you do that by in the past investing into crypto assets, and now we're in the process of adding stocks, bonds, commodities, so that this it stops being just a niche DeFi product, but actually a general wealth building tool for the everyday wealth builder.
Okay, okay. And I have seen like you choose Solana. Like there are lots of the other chains, some are different multi-chains project. Lots of the companies are building. How did you come up to choose Solana for Pyra? And what are the things like you are thinking like Solana can we do in this particular thing and other chains can't do? What is your point of view of it?
I think it's at the time that we started building projects on I guess on DeFi rails, L2s were still the kind of this novel thing. Um Solana was kind of this novel approach of making the L1 performant and fast and cheap to use. And that was very key initially. Now it's retained us because you can see that there's a huge ecosystem of existing projects, of existing DeFi applications that we can integrate into our platform, as well as new assets like tokenized stocks, bonds, and commodities, and all of this capital that's inflowing from traditional assets, and then tokenizing them and bringing them on chain, and particularly on SVM and Solana. So that's kind of why we end up sticking around. But it was really about like the fact that it was cheap and it was fast, and it was kind of the only place to do that. And yeah, that's I think we're pretty happy with it with the choice. You know, it's been I don't think it's I don't think it's been it hasn't really come to our mind to kind of go multi-chain. Like we haven't had a need for it as of yet.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a good part. Solana has very good benefits from. For I had a podcast and uh, talk with some other companies, other projects working on the Solana, and they are always very bullish with the Solana. I have seen like you also participated at Colosseum Hackathon and you got a fifth place. Uh, and like how was your experience with Colosseum? Like Colosseum is one of the biggest accelerator of Solana, and how was your experience? Like is this your first hackathon, like you also participated in other hackathons with the other blockchains and then you come up with the Colosseum? What was your experience with the Colosseum and before the Colosseum and after the Colosseum?
I mean, during Colosseum it was amazing because we kind of had this short stint of time to go and build something and get traction for it, and doing that in such a small time period just makes you be super hyper focused on what you want to achieve, and then also presenting that as a business, as a startup. So the experience was incredible, and I guess in like how we found out about Colosseum and what we were doing before, it was the second time we submitted for a Solana hackathon. The original one was probably a year before we ended up winning. It was before Coliseum was a thing. It was at the time it was just Solana. The Solana Foundation was the organizer. I think it was called Hyperdrive, and we also did a payments application. But I guess with a different spin, a different type of payments, and the application and what we were able to produce in that time, that first attempt was extremely limited and very different to what we ended up pitching and presenting for the second time around, which was a year later. Um, and that's kind of that iteration and that like try again if you don't succeed the first time, I think is key to success, you know, everywhere, but definitely so in the Colosseum hackathons. Even now, for example, in this last Colosseum batch, the winners of it called Unruggable, they're a good friend of ours, and they had submitted to the Colosseum hackathon 3 or 4 times until this last hackathon where they became not only win a prize, but they were the grand champion. So they're now in the Coliseum Accelerator, and they're in San Francisco and building and iterating. So I think it just goes to show that like it's a huge and it's an amazing experience. And I think where people go wrong is they do it once and then they just stop. They don't try again. So that was our experience was also similar to Unruggables, where on the second try we were able to get a prize and be able to continue and get the product out from there.
Got it, got it. And as you know, like you're working on Solana, you have experience with the Colosseum. Solana is known for its community, like known for its super teams, communities, and like Pyra has also its own community. and maintaining the community is, I feel like, is one of the hardest thing. And maintaining the community trust during a crisis is also very important. So how do you manage the communities? How do you communicate with your users through all this way?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be very transparent with what you're doing, what you're building, and also the vision, and try to just be open to anyone suggesting or asking questions about anything. And I feel like we've tried to do our best to be able to live up to that. And I guess the benefit of that is people vouch for you and they care for you, and that they're able to then recommend you to other people because they they know you to a certain extent. Um, that's something that we want to do even better moving forward, um, where it's not we have even more touch points with our community and with our users, so we can understand them better and they can understand what we're building and know where the product is going better as well.
Okay. Yeah, this is the good approach. Like maintaining the community and the user trust is also very important to run a product and to get succeed from it. And in that case, we found some word of mouth marketing, word of mouth productions, and even the investors also love this particular thing. Have you received any grants or investment, a seed round, or maybe any other round from any investor?
Yeah, we had raised around $260,000 in our pre-seed round from angel investors, and then we've also gotten funding from uh, everywhere, friends, family, uh, personal funds, grants, uh, any hackathon wins, literally anywhere possible that we can get funding for the companies. We go and we've gotten money from there. Um, yeah, I mean, for us, the next step for us is to go and be able to raise a proper round, with a VC that believes in our vision, and that's kind of where we're taking the product. And we what our whole job now is to be able to build out a product that's valuable enough and has um enough traction to be able to sell this vision and then be able to scale up from there. So up until now, it has been like it's been tough, but you have to do it, and you get the money from sources, and then you do your best to put all that capital to the best use possible. And I think we've done a good job at doing that so far.
Yeah, great, great. It's good to know. And I've seen like you walk through from one place to another place here in this office. So this is your team, the whole team, or you are working into some co-working space, or like the same some crypto projects are also walking into the same space. Was it all about like it was looks like a very quite huge, and lots of the people are walking, so many monitors, so many systems, and people are walking. What is like? Is this your office or like what?
No, this is a co-working space. So we're here. Currently, there's an event called Build Station, which is in Dublin, here in Ireland, and it's in preparation for the next Coliseum Hackathon.
Hmm.
And there's a bunch of other ecosystem teams. Also, like our team is here as well. So my co-founder Irla, he's here too. But it's just people from the Solana ecosystem that have come by and they're building and they're working on their own projects. Um, and then there's also other people that aren't crypto that are here in the office too. It's quite popular co-working space here in Dublin.
Nice, nice, amazing. And I have seen somewhere like you mentioned about the Pyra. This is the billionaires are doing, and the idea is quite amazing. It's a brilliant idea. Regarding the Pyra, you mentioned like you can invest your paychecks and you can spend the credits instead of selling. So keep earning the yield, and but it sounds almost really very good, but I want to know like how does it actually work under the hood, and can you also break down a bit more of what to do actually do the regular people can't, like how the rich people are doing, and you mentioned like this is the billionaires things like they are doing, so how what exactly they are doing and how the normal people are not doing the same way, and how Pyra is filling that particular gap so that they can also everyone can get some benefited from Pyra.
Yeah, I mean what you mentioned, the billionaire tax loophole, or some other people call it buy, borrow, die. What the strategy is, and what ultra rich people do, like think Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, what they do is they have all of their capital, all the billions of dollars into assets, like things like stocks, bonds, commodities, and then instead of selling them, we need to pay for their mansion or their coffee or for literally anything. They get a line of credit against their portfolios, and then they spend the borrowed money. And the whole benefit of that is one, it doesn't cause capital gains tax because they don't sell their assets. And then two, they stay exposed and they have their money working for them 24/7 um, without any compromises. And that's simply something that hasn't been possible to do for the regular person. The reason for that is um, like a regular person, they get paid on a recurring basis in cash. And then the first thing that they think to do is I need to go and pay my bills. And then afterwards, what people do is they then invest what they have left over. And the issue with that is you kind of split it into savings, money that I can't touch, and money that I spend, and I never touch after I spend it again. And having them siloed and separated is opposite to what billionaires do. The billionaires have one account, their assets, and then credit is kind of separate and it's a branch off of it. So being able to do that, and the reason the billionaires are able to do that is they have, these because of all their capital, they have all these tools and these financial advisors that let them manage it and process and do this strategy automatically. And but it's a manual and expensive process. So for the everyday person, if they want to do the same strategy, you can, you could do it yourself. You could go to a margin account and get a loan and do this process manually. Um, but it's extremely impractical and it's extremely dangerous as well. So through Pyra, we kind of make it not only easy but also safe, so that you can also keep and maintain your portfolio without getting liquidated. And we build tools and kind of guardrails to make the strategy actually safe for the everyday person to use for everyday spending. And again, like instead of spending money first and then investing what's left over through us, just like the billionaires, you invest your money first and then you spend with credit. And like really once you start building wealth with all the money that you can possibly have, that's when you start seeing some really great growth on your portfolio. And that's the power of our product.
Nice. And I have seen you mentioned that you are going for the next Colosseum and the phase version 2 of Pyra. What is all about? What are the things we are going to see in Pyra in upcoming months?
So we're adding stocks, bonds, commodities. We started off
Mm,
Pyra with having crypto assets only, and we tested out the product. We had it out in people's hands. People loved it. It was super sticky. We have 85% deposit retention, and we were going pretty up and to the right. Um, Now we see that this model not only works for DeFi natives, but works for people generally that want to build wealth faster. But the issue is that regular people, they don't care about GeoSoul or GLP or Bitcoin. They're actually scared. So if you tell that to them, they're going to run away. But if you tell them, listen, you can use this platform and you can build a portfolio of assets with assets you actually care
mm,
about. Think, the S&P, the gold or Apple stock or Amazon stock. Then they understand and they know, okay, here I can
mm,
build a portfolio of wealth with actual assets. So that's the biggest thing
mm,
that we're launching actually very, very soon. Um, Soon after, we're going to be adding bank deposits and bank withdrawals. So a user is going to be able to deposit and directly get capital from their paycheck into their Pyro account and automatically swap the dollars or the euros directly for their portfolio. And then beyond that, we have some extra features such as a risk engine that helps the user manage the portfolio risk, which is something I kind of alluded to just a bit before. But one of the main issues and the struggles of doing this mechanism manually um, is that you're essentially opening up a margin position, a loan position against your portfolio where if your assets go down in price too much, you might be selling your assets at the worst time in the market. And really, the biggest and the best thing you can do with a portfolio is hold and compound long term. So not just a year or 6 months, but 5, 10 years, 15 years. And that's when compound interest really kicks in, and that's where compound growth kicks in. Um, so building out this risk engine, which is one of the features that we're going to be shipping, will help users reduce that risk of getting liquidated, and hence letting them keep their portfolios for much longer, and then getting and being able to take effect of the benefits of compounding growth long term.
Got it, got it. So in short, we can say the Pyra is a product or a platform where a Web2 users, a Web2 community and the Web3 community can come together and invest, maybe in the cryptos, maybe in the stocks, and they can invest in the both and they can get the returns from it. And easy to maintain the portfolio, easy to manage the assets over there. But if we are talking about investment, if we are talking about the user side, how you are maintaining the security of their funds, because like everyone is very confused and every have some doubts in their mind, like if we are going to invest that particular amount, is the company, how you are guys maintaining the security of the protocol.
Yeah, so we're completely um self-custodial based platform that integrates with DeFi protocols for credit. So we build out the smart contract that a user can define specific instructions for how much capital they can withdraw and can be moved and allow us to use for spend. Um, and then in the background, we users' funds get routed into or integrated lending platform. And today it's Camino. Camino has been one of the safest, if not the safe, or the consensus safest protocol for borrow lend on Solana. It's definitely the largest protocol on Solana. And we've decided to go and rebuild and and turn our infrastructure and use them to leverage kind of the security that they have as well within our protocol. Moving forward, the way we reduce and increase user safety is by adding multiple protocols so that users' funds can be split across multiple, and then that way, if there's ever a situation like what happened with Drift on one, and not all the funds are lost, and users can have a portion of them still secure in the other. Um, even beyond that, our goals and our vision for for longer term is to bring and have that credit side be internal. So have it be our own credit mechanism where we can take on that responsibility and that risk instead of entrusting a third party lending provider to do that on our behalf. There's other things that we're also exploring, such as portfolio insurance, so that if there's ever a hack or of any choice of any of a hack like what happened with Drift, um, a portion of users' funds would be able to get covered by this insurance pool. And then on top of that, there's also bringing in some off-chain credit sources that, of course, have existing regulatory requirements for insurance, and then being able to use them to diversify users' funds and also to keep users' funds and custody on those platforms. So that's kind of an overview of how we think about risk. Like right now, we have third-party risk with the protocols we integrate, or for shorter term, we want to diversify that third-party risk. For the longer term, being able to bring that risk in-house so we can be sure about the security practices that we hold, which would make us feel better than rather than having to trust multiple third parties, which is kind of the situation we're currently in.
User safety and with the example of Drift, like user safety is really very important, and keeping their funds secure into the protocol is always a main necessary and the front part. Because we have seen like there are lots of the protocols, they are coming with the bullish sound and they are getting investment from around the globe. And once they have the funds, like they have mentioned, like they got hacked or sometimes they got lost something. So this is how like it's good to know like you are also maintaining the good security things around the Pyra. So I would like to know what exactly you are looking for Pyra, and where do you want to be like in upcoming 12 months or maybe 1 year or maybe 2 year, maybe the 5 years, how big it can be. If you work with the Solana ecosystem, and apart from the Solana, what can be the future with the Solana, what can be the future, and what exactly you want, where you want to be, because you have started at a very early stage where like people was just checking out some details and investing in the things, and you are building a particular and live product. So what is the future things would you like to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, our goal and our North Star is to reach 1 million users. We're very far away from that, but having 1 million people invest money that otherwise they would just spend and lose forever is our North Star. We believe that this mechanism of we call it asset-based banking, where your capital is invested into your portfolio first before you spend. We believe that this is going to be default for neobanks all over the world. Think of existing players like Revolut or Chime or Monzo or SoFi. We believe that these people are going to come in and take our model and bring it to their users. So we want to be that first player. We are that first player to go in and give it to non-crypto users, and we want to be able to maintain our position as the leader in that space. So that's our North Star goal, and we're in the office working almost every day to get there.
Nice, nice. So now I'm going to ask some rapid fire questions where you can answer in one word or maybe one sentence. So I call it a rapid fire short questions, short answers and the quick questions. So first question is if I talk about where are you personally most bullish right now? Is it Bitcoin, Solana, or the Ethereum?
Solana, come on, easy.
Yeah. And if we talk about the social channel, where do you spend the most of the time? Telegram, X, or Discord?
I do Telegram for, I guess, business to business and reaching out to friends and investors and everything. But socials, Twitter, but starting to do a lot now on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay. And if Pyra doesn't exist, like never exists in the world, what would you be building?
Mm, mm. Oh, that's tough. I haven't thought about this in a while. Let me think. Probably maybe something with peptides. I don't know. Peptides seem interesting.
Uh, Okay. And a last question, one piece of advice, a very young founder, one piece of advice you would you like to give to a founder who just went through a major public setback, or he just
Hmm.
want to start something into the Web3 ecosystem, or just want to start with the Solana. So what advice would you like to give him?
I mean, for both, right? Like if you have a setback or you're just starting or whatever, I think communication is so key. Even if you think no one's listening, people go in and they listen and they go in and they see the channels and they see what you've done and what you're doing. Just being open and being as transparent as possible, and of course trying to be an honest actor, and give everyone the time of day. People, you never know who you're gonna meet, and you never know who's listening. So, yeah, just be open and communicate, tell people what you're doing. Um, that'd be the biggest thing.
Nice, nice. So I think I am out of the questions and hopefully looking forward to sit back you somewhere at your office or maybe somewhere again on the Zoom to learn more about what exactly you are building, what exactly how you are building. So, but I really enjoyed a lot. The things like you have mentioned about the security, about the community, about the Solana, it's really amazing. So, Diago, thank you so much for coming and being so open. And the kind of honesty is rare, and I think the community respects it. And this is how we call it like this. The Solana founders are always amazing. Like they are always building something. They are always open to talk. They are always open to discuss what exactly they are building. And this is how I feel the Solana is the main game behind the Solana's community, Solana's super team. This is
Mm,
how the Solana's project are growing in this space. So thank you so much, Tiago, for coming. And everyone listening, if this episodes give you the value, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You can find Pyra at pyra.fi, follow them on X, and you can also join their Telegram community. And looking forward for the next. And thank you so much, Diago, once again. And keep building, keep holding.
thanks so much, Mohammed. Thanks so much for your time. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the questions, man. So, yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for the community side.